Did you ever land a shotgun blast in a game and just, felt it in your soul? The sound, it pops, the camera, it shakes, and your enemy explodes into a cloud of beautifully rendered giblets. And your brain's just like, ah yeah, peak motherflippin' gaming. But why is that? Why does virtual carnage, when done right, feel so incredibly satisfying? It's actually not just mindless violence, there's actual craft behind it all. And today, we're peeling back the flesh, figuratively, and looking at 3 main ingredients that make game gore hit like a warm knife through butter. We're gonna check out sound design, the visual impact feedback, and the weird, wonderful psychology of why our brains love a good splat. And no, this doesn't mean we're all secret psychos. Probably. Let's start with the sound, because honestly it is doing most of the heavy lifting here. Think about games like Doom Eternal, Dead Space, Mortal Kombat, or even something indie like Project Warlock. When you hit something, it doesn't just make a sound, it erupts. Behind every shotgun blast, every sword chop, every spine-ripping fatality, there is a sound designer layering together weird stuff like a watermelon being smashed, a wet rag being twisted, some poor intern stirring a pot of mac and cheese, and of course that bassy boom that makes your whole chest vibrate or your ears from your headphones. And the result isn't realistic, it is hyper real. It's a sound that feels meaty, and when it lines up with what's happening on screen, your brain just eats it up. There's also a lot of trickery here. The developers, they will pitch shift the impact, boost low frequencies, and compress the audio just enough to make it punchy. And that's why a shotgun in Doom doesn't sound like a real shotgun, it sounds like Judgment Day with a reverb. And even the subtle details, they do matter. The tiny wet splat layered under the main impact. That is the cherry on top of the murder sundae. But my broskis, great sound alone doesn't sell the moment. You also need visual confirmation that you just absolutely demolished something. Games, they exaggerate violence because reality is honestly kind of boring. A real-world slash isn't exactly a fireworks show, but in a game, it's a slow-motion ballet of body parts, screen shake, bloom lighting, and a geyser of crimson that makes your brain go, yep, that landed hard. And the developers, they use all sorts of tricks here, like screen shake to make your weapon feel like it has much more weight to it. It's got hit pauses, that split-second freeze right on the impact, blood sprays and debris particles that explode outward, and of course the glorious ragdoll, which often turns an enemy's corpse into a confused gymnastic routine. And sometimes when the audio is mixed in with that, like having a little cling at a headshot, it's just perfect. Now that tiny freeze frame is huge, by the way. It gives your brain time to register the impact, basically saying, yeah, that just happened. It's the same principle behind a fighting game's hit stun. It makes the moment satisfying and not just visible. Even games without realistic gore use this. It's all timing, animation, and good VFX. So when a game does add gore on top of that foundation, it's like giving an already good burger an extra layer of melted cheese. Now let's talk a little bit about the brain, because of course the brain loves a good splat. What's really happening is a feedback loop. You press a button, the game reacts with sound, visual, and a perfectly timed BAM! And your brain, it gets a dopamine hit for successfully causing something loud, crunchy, and explosive. It's the same kind of little rush you get from popping bubble wrap, except instead of a bubble, it's, well, a zombie's ribcage. A little more dramatic, but still the same basic principle. There is actually also something called impact satisfaction, and that is when your actions have immediate exaggerated feedback. It creates this smooth action reward pathway. Your brain interprets that as a power and control. 2 things humans simply love. It's why games like Doom are so freaking addictive. Every action, it feels significant. You're not just pulling a trigger, you're conducting a symphony of chaos. And let's be real here, in the real world you don't get to unleash this kind of mayhem. In games it's controlled, it's fictional, and most importantly it is safe, which makes that rush guilt-free, and that is how it should stay. So here comes the most important part. None of this is about glorifying actual violence. We don't love gore because we want real people hurt. We love the art of impact. Game gore, it is exaggerated, it is stylized and very deliberately designed. It's a way of making actions feel big. When Doom lets you rip a demon in half, it's not trying to be realistic, it's trying to make your attack feel godlike. And when Mortal Kombat zooms in on someone's spine getting cracked like a breadstick, it's more spectacle than it is horror. Even pixel art games do this. A splash of red pixels, a chunky sound, and a ragdoll flop can be just as satisfying as a hyper-realistic decapitation. It's all about how the feedback is delivered, not how much blood is on the floor. So yeah, game gore isn't just edgy decoration, it's a carefully engineered cocktail of sound, visuals, and psychology designed to make every hit land with weight. The splat, the crunch, the flash, the screen shake, they're all little pieces of a very deliberate puzzle. And when they all click together, the result is that warm, fuzzy feeling of, oh yeah, that was a good hit. So the next time a demon explodes into 17 chunks and you find yourself smiling like a maniac, don't feel bad. That's just your brain enjoying a perfectly crafted dopamine delivery system. And that, my broskis, was Papa Slim's take on why video game gore feels so bloody amazing, and why we perhaps maybe aren't all maniacs. And my shirt is wet, yeah. I actually don't know why, so I don't have a good explanation for it. But if you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoy brutal video games, remember to hit that like and maybe smidge a little bit on that subscribe. And Papa Slim, he will see you in the next one. Over and out.